Hey, Hammer fam, it's HammeredHead. Today we got Ayy Vida from the Outlander Nightclub. This is the last figure from the Outlander set. Again, this is part of the hype train for the HasLab campaign for the Mos Eisley Cantina that's currently ongoing. So if you like the Outlander Nightclub, you probably like the Mos Eisley Cantina. Now's your chance to get it. So if you like these figures, go ahead and check out the HasLab campaign. I'll leave a link in the description again. But in terms of Outlander, I've really liked all these figures so far, and this one doesn't look any different. I think she's got like a cool design for her jumpsuit, I guess, and like some nice headgear look like. I like the bar stool she comes with. Decent picture. Good close-up right there. Ayy Vida, the consort of local crime boss Hot Low. The beautiful Twi'lek Ayy Vida has been tainted by the criminal underworld. She continues to look for an opportunity to escape Low's repressive clutches. After catching the eye of a dapper Republic guard one night at the Outlander Nightclub, she hopes the guard will rescue her. Her hope is in vain, for he is an imposter, one of many poseurs who frequent the club for their own nefarious purposes. Some nice pictures there. So that imposter is one of these guys we looked at, either Daniel Fatoni or Achmed Beck. What was his name? Something like that. So she'll get to hang out with those guys once we get the whole setup done. But first, we'll just take a look at her on her own. So let's get her out of the box. Here she is, ready to get this party started. As always, I'll get the negatives out of the way right up front. She does not stand up well at all. Her articulation is pretty limited, which isn't the worst thing ever, but the feet come up at this weird angle, such that you have to bend her knees to actually get them to stand flat on the floor. And at that point, it's just a matter of getting her at the right angle that she's not going to flop over. But then it ends up being like these weird poses she's in, and she'll fall over really easy. So that's kind of annoying, but we do get the stool, so she can sit there. That's fine. But appearance-wise, she's pretty good. I really like that shade of yellow on her skin. That's pretty unique, at least for Twi'leks. We don't really have too many figures like that. It's a decent design on the Leku. It's a bit of paint smearing. That kind of like dyes the whole thing. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It doesn't look intentional, but it's not horrendous or anything. It's just, another characteristic. She's got this cool like headdress thing going over her forehead and ears, and then like a collar, I guess, because she's like a slave or something. But the jumpsuit I think it's a jumpsuit. It's pretty decent. More or less matches her skin / Leku tone, so it's not bad. And then the sandals are cool. She's got like these metal strap sandals on her feet. So not a bad look. And when she's sitting there on the chair, she's a good addition to the club. So it's just the two accessories, but they're pretty good. First up is the bar glass, which is a really good shade of purple. That looks great. And the sculpt is pretty decent. A few imperfections with it when it was molded, but it's not bad. And fits in her left hand pretty well. So she gets a good grip on it. And second up is the stool, which I think looks really nice. It's a cool design. I like this like rug or covering or whatever that's on it. I think it's silver, but it looks almost like a little gilded. But overall the design is nice. It looks, very realistic. And she sits on it very well too. Once you balance her. There you go. So overall, it's a good look. You can plop her right down there in the nightclub, and she fits right in. Like I said, articulation is very limited. It's only swivel joints. She's got a head, shoulders, hips, and knees, and that's it. So something that confuses me, though, on the card back, she's holding the drink in her right arm, and she's got a bend in the elbow there, which looks on the card back as if it was sculpted into the figure that way. But then on the figure itself, it's a straight arm on both of her arms. So no matter where she holds the glass, it's either got to be empty or she's like cheersing someone or something. But she can't just like hold it casually like she's going to take a sip. And then in the right hand, her hand is sculpted almost as if it's like a trigger. So if she wants to hold a blaster. And again, on the card back, you can actually see that sculpt on there. And she's holding the glass on the bottom here. It's not as pronounced on this side, I guess. But I tried putting the glass in that hand and it didn't really work well. I think it's really supposed to be in the left hand. But again, either way, she can't just hold it up naturally. She can only do a toast. But again, if she's just going to be sitting there in the club, it's good enough. She's just very excited to be there, I guess. And finally, we'll just throw her in with the rest of the Outlander figures so we can complete the nightclub scene. Again, we have Obi-Wan and Sleaze Begano that came with the bar itself. The two con artists, Faytoni and Beck. And they did each come with their own table, so they can hang out at that one in the corner together. And then this spare table, Ayy Vida can pull up a seat with her drink. Slide right in there. And try to catch the eye of those two nice gentlemen in Republic outfits. So I think this is a good vibe. I think it really came together well, and all the figures do complement each other in a pretty decent way. That's Ayy Vida. I wouldn't quite say she's a subpar figure, but that articulation just is not good, and coupled with the drawbacks of the sculpt, it makes it really difficult to pose her. She just always looks very awkward, even sitting in the chair, because she's got to hold the drink up like that. But the paint and appearance overall is pretty decent, and the glass with the bar stool are pretty good accessories, so being able to have her and just have her sit there in a nightclub definitely adds to the overall ambiance. So I would recommend her if you want to build up like a bar scene, but just don't expect her to really be able to do much. But that's about it. If you like the nightclub setup and you want a bigger one, again, please make sure you check out the HasLab campaign for the Mos Eisley Cantina. It's still running. Now's your chance to get it. I'll leave the link in the description. But let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to follow on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out the Patreon page, and don't forget, stay hammered.